Chants de Maldoror by Comte de Lautréamont, Book 2, Section 10. Oh, rigorous mathematics, I have not forgotten you since your wise lessons. Sweeter than honey filtered into my heart, like a refreshing wave. Instinctively from the cradle, I had longed to drink from your source, older than the sun. And I continue to tread the sacred sanctuary of your solemn temple, I, the most faithful of your devotees. There was a vagueness in my mind, something thick as smoke. But I managed to mount the steps which led to your altar, and you drove away this dark veil. As the wind blows the draught board, you replaced it with excessive coldness, consummate prudence, and implacable logic. With the aid of your fortifying milk, my intellect developed rapidly and took on immense proportions amid the ravishing lucidity which you bestow as a gift on all those who sincerely love you. Arithmetic, algebra, geometry, all-inspiring trinity, luminous triangle. He who has not known you is a fool. He would deserve the ordeal of the greatest tortures, for there is blind disdain in his ignorant indifference. But he who knows you and appreciates you no longer wants the goods of the earth, and is satisfied with your magical delights, and borne on your somber wings wishes only to rise in effortless flight, constructing as he does a rising spiral towards the spherical vault of the heavens. Earth only offers him illusions and moral phantasmagoria, but you, concise mathematics, by the rigorous sequence of your unshakable propositions and the constancy of your iron rules, give to the dazzled eyes a powerful reflection of that supreme truth whose imprint can be seen in the order of the universe. But the order surrounding you, represented by the perfect regularity of the square, Pythagoras' friend, is greater still. For the Almighty has revealed himself and his attributes completely in this memorable work, which consisted in bringing from the bowels of chaos the treasures of your theorems and your magnificent splendors. In ancient epochs and in modern times, more than one man of great imagination has been awestruck by the contemplation of your symbolic figures traced on paper, like so many mysterious signs, living and breathing in hidden ways not understood by the profane multitudes. These signs were only the glittering revelations of eternal axioms and hieroglyphs which existed before the universe and will remain after the universe has passed away. And then this man of vision wonders, leaning towards the precipice of a fatal question mark, how it is that mathematics contains so much imposing grandeur and undeniable truth, whereas, when he compares it with mankind, he finds among the latter only false pride and deceitfulness. And then this saddened superior spirit, whose noble familiarity with your precepts has made him even more aware of the pettiness and incomparable folly of mankind, buries his white-haired head in his fleshless hands and remains engrossed in his supernatural meditations. He kneels before you, and in his veneration pays homage to your divine face, the very image of the Almighty. In my childhood you appeared to me one May night by the light of the moonbeams in a green meadow beside a clear stream, all three equal in grace and modesty, all three full of the majesty of queens. You took a few steps toward me in your long dresses, floating like mist, and lured me towards your proud breasts like a blessed sun. Then I ran up eagerly, my arms clenched around your white throats. I fed gratefully on your rich manna, and I felt humanity growing within me, becoming deeper. Since that time, rival goddesses, I have not abandoned you. How many mighty projects since that time, how many sympathies, which I had believed to be engraved on the pages of my heart as on marble, have been slowly effaced from my disillusioned reason by their configurative lines, as the oncoming dawn effaces the shadows of the night. Since that time, rival goddesses, I have seen death, whose intention, clear to the naked eye, was to people graveyards. I have seen him ravaging battlefields fertilized by human blood, from which morning flowers grow above human remains. Since then, I have witnessed revolutions on this globe, earthquakes, volcanoes with their blazing lava, the simoon of the desert, and tempest-torn shipwrecks have known my presence as an impassive spectator. Since that time, I have seen several generations of human beings lift up their wings in the morning and move off into space with the inexperienced joy of the chrysalid greeting its first metamorphosis, only to die in the evening before sunset, their heads bowed like withered flowers blown by the plaintive whistling of the wind. But you remain always the same. No change, no foul air disturbs the lofty crags and immense valleys of your immutable identity. Your modest pyramids will last longer than the pyramids of Egypt, those anthills raised by stupidity and slavery. And at the end of all the centuries, you will stand on the ruins of time with your Kabbalistic ciphers, your laconic equations, and your sculpted lines on the avenging right of the Almighty, whereas the stars will plunge despairingly like whirlwinds in the eternity of horrible and universal night, and grimacing mankind will think of settling its accounts at last judgment. Thank you for the countless services you have done me. Thank you for the strange qualities with which you enriched my intellect. Without you in my struggle against man, I would perhaps have been defeated. Without you, he would have made me grovel in the dust and kiss his feet. If it had not been for you, he would have flayed my flesh and bones with his perfidious claws. But I have kept on my guard, like an experienced athlete. You gave me the coldness of your sublime conceptions, free of all passion, and I used it to reject scornfully the ephemeral pleasures of my short journey, and spurn the well-meaning but deceptive advances of my fellows. You gave me the dogged prudence, which can be deciphered at every step of your admirable methods of analysis, synthesis, and deduction. I used it to outdo the pernicious wiles of my mortal enemy, and to attack him, skillfully, in turn, plunging into his entrails a sharp dagger which will forever remain buried in his body. For it is a wound from which he will never recover. You gave me logic, which is, as it were, the soul itself of your teachings, full of wisdom, and with its syllogisms the complex labyrinth of which makes it none the less intelligible. My intellect felt its audacious strength increasing twofold. By means of this terrible auxiliary, I discovered in mankind as I swam towards the depths opposite the reef of hatred, the black and hideous wickedness which lurked amidst the noxious miasmata, admiring its navel. First, I discovered in the darkness of his entrails that nefarious vice, evil, superior in him to good. With the poisonous weapon you lent me, I brought down from his pedestal, built by man's cowardice, the Creator himself. He gnashed his teeth and was subjected to this ignominious insult, for he had as adversary one stronger than he. But I will leave him aside like a bundle of string in order to fly down lower. The thinker Descartes once observed that nothing solid has ever been built on you. That was an ingenious way of pointing out that not just anybody can immediately discover your inestimable value. In fact, what could be more solid than the three principal qualities above mentioned, which rise up, joined in a single crown, to the august summit of your colossal architecture, a monument which is incessantly growing as discoveries are made daily in your diamantine mines, and with all the scientific researches carried out in your domains. Oh, holy mathematics! May I, for the rest of my days, be consoled by perpetual intercourse with you, consoled for the wickedness of man and the injustice of the Almighty.